Good morning, guys. Welcome in. How are you all doing? It is an absolutely beautiful morning. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. David Hernandez, Love Family Heritage. Mo, David, X marks the spot. Welcome in, guys. Joya, how you doing, Joya? Spliff. Welcome in, everybody. Prince Killjoy. I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. B. Walt, good morning. How are you guys all doing? A lot of things happening yesterday. Some movement, some market movements, some market maintenance. Right. We'll talk about what went down yesterday on the market, and we'll go over what's going to happen next, or what we can expect going into our next session. Welcome in. Welcome in. First of all, shameless, absolutely shameless, but subscribe to the channel. I know it's shameless, but do it. It does help the algorithm. Also, throw me a like as well. I want to get to at least 500 likes. I want to at least maintain 500 likes into every video. That's my goal. And we are almost, I wanted to get to 20K subscribers by end of year. I don't know if it's possible. We'll try it. We have 5K more to go, a little bit less than 5K, 4,300 more to go. So the more subscribers, the closer I get to that goal, obviously. So first of all, I hope everybody had a nice Tuesday session. I hope you kept it stupid simple, right? You maybe took 1 or 2 trades and you walked away. I think that should be your goal in these holiday weeks, is understand that as closer and closer you get towards, your holidays, which is tomorrow, the conditions become choppier and choppier, right? The volume becomes less and less. And so you got to just take those trades and walk away, right? You get 1 or 2 trades and you go enjoy your day. Not the days to be taking 12 trades in a session, because if you do that, right, you run the risk of giving back a lot of gains. You run the risk of going back negative. You run the risk of having a very bad holiday, a very bad day. Nothing is worse than going into a Thanksgiving session, a Thanksgiving holiday session with your family. If you guys are all doing that, right, and you're down, 95% in your account that day, right? So just understand that, right? So try to keep things simple going into today's session. I think that was the idea yesterday, and we had the right game plan, and we'll talk about what that game plan was and what our game plan is for today. Mena, thank you, Mena. That is very kind of you, Mena. Thank you for always supporting. Thank you for the $4, much appreciated. As you guys know, giveaway coming up, so that's gonna happen in a few days. I haven't scheduled it yet, so we'll talk about it more into next week. But just understand that is looming, and we'll have some big things for December going into the end of the year. Okay, so first of all, welcome. Let's dive into our charts. So do I have it open? Hopefully I do. Okay. Something always scares me about me having something sometimes I'm shopping on my work computer, and I always get nervous if I left something up. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I get scared of. Anyway, so econ data for today's session is November 26th. We have some big things happening today, some major things happening today. It's not going to be an easy session, all right? This morning we have GDP. We have GDP in the morning, 8:30 a.m., which is not delayed. It's going to be, someone said work with, in quotation. No, this is my work computer. No. This is my work computer. That's the one thing I do smart, is I keep everything like this. I don't even sign into my my Instagram and stuff here, or anything crazy, right? I I gotta stop talking, right? All right, so obviously today's session, GDP big this morning. We have PMI 9:45, new home sales 10 o'clock, PCE 10 o'clock. Today's session is it's a Wreck-It Ralph day. You got Wreck-It Ralph knocking on your door every day, right? Every 5 minutes, Wreck-It Ralph is at your door. I would be careful. This is not going to be a session for the faint-hearted. What do I mean by that? Just understand there's a lot of data today. A lot of data. Everything's all grouped up into one session, so it's going to be a very crazy chart. Okay, Thursday, no data. The market's closed. It's Thanksgiving, so just understand that going into Thursday session. Okay, Friday we have a half day. I think we'll be trading on Friday. I don't actually know what. Don't quote me. I don't know what we're doing on Friday. Let's see in the morning. We'll decide in the morning if we're going to trade. If we see anything that looks spicy in the morning, we'll trade. If we don't, then there's no reason to trade. So that's what we'll do. We'll play it by ear going into Friday session. But I'm not sure if we'll be trading or not. And TBD for pre-market webinar. Okay. On the earnings docket, obviously Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is big. Who the hell do these people think they are? Who the hell do these people think they are? Chadji, okay, Chadji, CHA, reporting earnings on Friday. They think that they're special or something. They think that there's something special. So these guys are reporting earnings alone on Friday because they're something special. So let's watch out and see what Chadji does here on Friday. Besides that, yesterday we had Baba, we had Neo, ANF ripped yesterday, Dell in the after hours, John Deere in the pre-market. That's all we have for today's session. That pretty much finishes off the earnings season. Okay, let's go over our charts. Let's go over the SPY chart, and we'll have a beautiful day today. Okay, so what happened yesterday? Basically, yesterday's session was a pullback to the Friday high, right? So if you guys recall in the pre-market, we discussed this idea of looking for longs back at the Friday high. If you don't believe it, go back to yesterday's session. This was where we actually went long yesterday in live trading too, right? So we opened up in a gap up on Tuesday. Not a gap up, but a big day on Monday into a strong open on Tuesday. And our immediate response was, well, strong opens mean pullback, right? Strong opens mean pullback to go long. And this was exactly where we went long yesterday. We spoke about this in the pre-market, the 664.40, 664.30. And we actually longed it right here. I'll show you where we went long yesterday. Live trading, we went long, and it was quick, but that's how the market is sometimes. Sometimes it taps the level and runs quick. Look how fast it did this, right? A little tap and go, immediate tap and go, bam. You had less than 30 seconds to get this fill here. You had literally 30 seconds or less to get filled on this trade. And that's all it was, right? If you got in, you got in. If you didn't, then you missed the opportunity. And you can see how fast this candle is. In fact, go back to this here for a second and look at this. Go back to the 30 second. We'll go crazy here. We're going to go to the 15-second chart here. Look how fast this was. Bam, 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 right? No consolidation. No, is it holding or not holding? No, you only have 30 seconds to think about if you're going to take this trade. And the question was yesterday, did you trust the level? Did you go into yesterday's session with the pre-market plan, with a good plan in front of you, and did you trust it as it was developing the hold on the intraday time frame yesterday? And if you did, you had a fantastic session yesterday. But if you didn't, then it might have been a little bit of a trickier session. So yesterday was actually quite nice. It held levels, it maintained, and the market moved higher after a strong maintenance of demand. And this was exactly where we longed yesterday on the live trading, right? Upside move into highs. And the question now today is, what the hell is going on today? What's going on today's session? Well, that's why you guys are all here, right? So here's the thing. We produced a swing low, right? And we produced a swing low. And remember, I drew this out. I drew this out yesterday. I said, this is what the market does. We have a swing high, a swing low, a swing high, a swing low, a swing high, a swing low, right? And if you go into the session and you try to long the swing highs, and you wonder, damn, is the market rigged as the market pulls back and stops you out every time? Well, then you're just simply doing it incorrectly, right? Longing the highs is not really an effective strategy for trading. In fact, the best way to trade this is to look back at the demand lows and long the lows. That was the 664 yesterday. The yesterday low was 664. That was the swing low we formed and the market maintained. And today's session, it's very resemblant of yesterday. The question is, do you want to long back into a swing high? And the answer is probably not. In fact, there are two ways to trade a swing high, right? You can actually look for shorts the swing high, right? Look for the move down to the swing high, or you can wait for it to pull back to your demand zone, right? And then get the long entry at your demand for an upside move. Now, here's the thing. The shorts at swing highs are very difficult trades, very surgical, right? It's not as easy as long you swing low because technically you're going against the 1 hour trend. You're going against the 1 hour trend and against the 5 minute trend. That's where things become, people say all the time, stop going against the trend, right? Stop going against the trend. And yesterday's session, the trend was on the larger time frame. It was bullish, right? It was a bullish upside trend in the larger time frames. So you're with trend in the 1 hour against trend in the 5 minute. Therefore, for me, I consider that still with trend, right? But if you try to go into today's session and say, you know what, this is a swing high in the market, I want to short the swing high, you're going against the 1 hour trend and against the 5 minute trend, which is incredibly difficult to do. You have to understand the footprint of what you're doing, right? That if you are shorting today, you are going against the 1 hour trend and the 5 minute trend. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I may do that today, right? But you have to be an absolute surgeon. Whereas if you are doing the opposite, which is longing a low, right, into a 5 minute downtrend, but a 1 hour uptrend, it's still technically within trend. It's within bounds of the 1 hour trend. So today's session, you understand this. You understand that we are back in supply right now. It's just very clearly we're back in supply, and you want to see it pull back for upside move. Do you want to short us into the pullback, or do you want to wait patiently for the pullback long? I don't know what the proper answer is yet, and but I will probably do both. If I see a short today, I will take the short, but understand it is a trickier and surgical trade, and I want you guys to understand that here in the pre-market. Understand the difference between with trend 1 hour and against trend 1 hour, right? Anything that's long right now in the market is with trend 1 hour. So this is what I'm expecting today. Basically, is either look for a long back at the 670s, right? 670 would be your dip opportunity today for a swing low. If that happens, that's your big long spot today. It's pretty simple. Do we get it? I don't know, because this would be like a Thanksgiving gift. This would be a Thanksgiving gift if we got the 670 dip and rip. That's my new top watch today, is a 670 dip and rip. Okay, that's all it is. Now, the second level I'm watching today, though, is actually 675. So I know 670 is my swing low that I just talked about, but 675 is also a level. And truthfully, I don't know if it's going to be 670 or 675 today. Yesterday, I was quite certain it was 664. You guys recall that? You guys remember it's the only thing I talked about. Today, I don't know if it's going to be this or if it's going to be this. I just don't know. And if I were to tell you what the answer is today's session, or if you're watching anybody else and they're saying it's got to be this one, don't listen to them, because they have no fucking clue what they're talking about. It's either 675 or 670, and we just don't know until we get the 5-minute price action, which develops at that level, which would then say, hey, it's right here, right? That's all it's going to be. The 5-minute intraday action is going to define whether we are either 675 holds or if it's going to be 670 hold. Okay, that's all it is today's session here on the SPY chart. I just cussed, and I'm gonna lose my my viewership. YouTube's gonna cancel me. I just realized that. I should not have done that. I'm gonna see my viewership go down like 200 people now, because that's what the YouTube algo does. All right. So here on the ES chart, you can see here. Obviously, your dip and rip is either going to be, it's right here, right? This is my main dip and rip, is going to be the 670.40s, right? 670.40s is the level, right? Which would be the high here. It's the high here on that 15-minute time frame right there, 670 on the SPY chart. That's actually 67.31 ES. So my dip and rip today is here. This is my dip and rip. If we pull back there, swing low produced, I'm looking for longs there at 67.30. Okay, that's my first long spot. The second long spot that I have in today's session is going to be 6790, and I don't know which one. I just don't have the answer. It's going to be here, or it's going to be here for the dip and rip. If I'm looking for any longs, it's got to be there. The one thing I would expect, though, here's what I would expect in a market like this, is I would expect a pullback, right? I'm expecting a pullback. I'm expecting the market to give us a dip, right? I don't really want to be looking for longs back in highs. And with that mindset, I can short today. I can short the market today. If I see the market failing my level here, maybe failing back under this low here, I could look for the failure back down lower. This is a short. This is a short. This is a short. Okay, so this is a short today. It's against the trend, but I'll look for that today's session. Likewise, I would also still watch this as well. So this, and let me draw this out properly so we can all see it, because this is very important. It's either going to be this, bam. It's either going to be this, bam, which are your two long opportunities, or it's going to be a surgical short under 6790, which is the ES level, bam, 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 and I could look for the move down lower. So those are the three things I'm watching for today's session, right? The two red scenarios are the bullish ones, which should really be green, and the white one is the bearish scenario, which case we move back down, but only as far back as demand here, right? I don't expect us to break under this level today. If we do, then they're getting really frothy, right? If we break under 6730, then don't long anything. We probably go back much lower in the market, okay? But these are my three scenarios today. Not as simple as yesterday's session, but we can't break that. We can't break it down any further. So if you don't understand it, well, it's not your fault. It's just more of a difficult session than it was yesterday. Okay, understand that each open is unique and different. And some opens are going to be, hey, it's so simple. Let's just long the 664. Let's long the 66.73. And some opens are going to be, there's three different scenarios. We just don't know which scenario it's going to be. Okay, Gunny, thank you. That's for Brett's swear jar. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yep, I need that. I absolutely need. Look at my view count. You guys see my view count? I have not. I usually have like 1,100 people by this time. We're at 900 here this morning, which is abysmal. But it's literally, you'd be surprised. It literally is for that reason. I know you guys think I'm crazy, but that's literally why my view count. If you say one thing bad, the algorithm just screws you over. Okay. Amazon. So Amazon. I think we were absolutely incredibly right about this read so far. Okay, and where are we going? Amazon 230 is your big spot today, your big technical hold this morning, and we are holding above it. And this is probably the most important thing to watch in the market. Okay, if we are above 230 in Amazon, I think we're going to go higher. I have a strong idea that this goes back in all-time highs, and I have money to back that up now. I have money in this. Does it hold? I mean, I'm long since 224, so this morning I'm up, a good few bucks per share here. But the question is, does it continue? Does it continue, right? It's got to hold above 230, because if it holds 230, I know it's far-fetched, but look at this crazy earnings move here, right? This is the crazy upside move that we had post-earnings, and we are now entering the same area, right? We are above the 230, which resulted in that major swing upside move. And if the market does maintain, the market's hot, Amazon's going to be very hot. And that's so important, right? When you guys are trading in a hot market, you got to look for the names that are more hot, right? If you're trading in a very hot market, look for names that are more hot, because it's going to give you more edge trading longs. If the market's very weak, you're looking for names that are even more weak, because it's going to give you, again, more edge in the market. Amazon, I think, is a hot one to watch. So looking for a long is about 230. If we maintain 230 today, it's going to rip higher. I think back into 240s where we're going. I think 240 is my main target here on longs. Let's see if we get there. My stop loss, though, at this point now, right? If I'm long since right here, right, on shares, since right there I'm long on shares, well, my stop loss now is going to be probably right at the same point, right? So if I'm long here with a sizable amount, my stop is going to be moved. It was initially here. Now it's moved back up to there. So my new stop loss is now at my entry point, and anything that happens right now is basically free. I'm making free money right now on Amazon because I just moved my stop loss up. So my risk is no longer there anymore. I don't care about it. I don't care about this low anymore. I want it to hold here. Because why? Because this is an uptrend now. We have a high, we have a low, we have a high, and we have a low. We should develop a low here for upside. We shouldn't be developing a low here anymore, right? So this side no longer would trade anymore. It's got to be just developing holds here at 230. If it does, upside back at 240. Main watch today. Will I trade it? I don't even know, because I'm already long it. But again, if you are looking for longs here, 230, main long spot, okay? Apple. Apple was your next top watch today, or at least my next top watch. Why? Because Apple is doing something so incredibly beautiful here, right? Why? DB the Esquire. We got ESQ here in the chat. Thank you. This is to help Brett when he's being penalized for cussing, putting money on his books. Thank you, DB. Thank you. Much appreciated. That is very kind of you for the tenor. And Truffle Trucker. Get those. I love that name, by the way. Truffle Trucker. That's a really good one. Get those likes up, you ungrateful weasels. Yes. Get the likes up, guys. How many likes do we have here? How many likes do we have here? We have 401 likes. So we're 100 short of our like count, guys. Get the like count up. You guys know it's the only thing I ask for is like counts. So let's get that like count up. And yeah, we did not forget Gunny. Gunny's there too. We did not forget. We have a lot of support today. Thank you, guys. Right. So Qs. You guys let me skip Qs. You're right. Absolutely QQQ. Let me finish Apple and we'll dive back into QQQ. Let's just finish this first and we'll dive back into Qs. So here on the Apple chart, right, what's happening here is basically we're forming a swing lower at this 276.5. This is a long spot here on Apple. And this is a good proxy for the market is what I would say here. Like it's a good way of saying it. This is a proxy for your market today, right? If this chart's holding here in Apple 276.5, the market's going to go higher, right? So look for this to hold 276.5. It does. That's your long spot today. This is a pure bullish chart. As long as we're above 276.50, we're bullish. If you lose this level now, right, there is a flip and bear side move here, right? So my scenarios are pretty clear here on Apple. As of right now, it's doing the break and retest, right? If you guys recall from live trading yesterday, I sat there on live. We took SPY. SPY was beautiful, right? SPY went like 40% instantly. It was beautiful. But then we sat there looking for the break and retest here in Apple all day. And if you notice something, it did give you the break and retest. But the break and retest happened into end of day as the market was already closed. Nobody's trading this year, right? So a little bit sad here in Apple. This is the worst possible scenario to happen here in Apple. But going into a session now, it's simply still about the same level, right? So this is your level today. If you can pull back and hold this level, it's a long side move. If you fail this level, it's a short side move, right? So it's pretty black and white. We know it's either going to be bullish or bearish. We know what's defined. We know where it's defined, right? We know if we're above level bullish, below level bearish, and we have a very simple game plan ahead of us. But as of right now, it's bullish. 276.50 maintains. We're looking for longs there, okay? Let's pivot back for a second. We forgot the QQQ. Let's dive into Qs for a second on the QQQ chart. Let's discuss this chart, okay? So, wow, I mean, this is actually quite interesting. This should give us some warning bells, right? The bells are warning. The bells are ringing in the background. You hear it? Because I hear it right now. In my head, I hear bells are ringing. And we just had an insane, beautiful, bullish day yesterday, right? Wow, spot, incredible. You go to QQQ, the bells should be ringing. There should be some alarm bells ringing in your head right now. And the reason why is because look at this huge downside move off the 614, slap down lower, right, into 581, Megalodon level here at 614. Big downside move, a 6% equity drop here in the market. And look at where we are right now in the pre-market session, right? How ominous is this? Right before Thanksgiving, we're trading into a critical supply zone. Don't be the Muppet that goes long into here because you said, man, I missed the long yesterday, right? Oh man, the long was, oh shit, I should have bought calls yesterday. And then you go in today's session and start buying calls right here on the QQQ because you know what's going to happen? You're going to get disciplined, okay? You're going to get disciplined, and rightfully so. It should do this. If we fail back lower here at 614, we're going to go back into probably 606, right? And this is your long spot today session. If you're looking for longs in the Qs, it's got to be here, right? That's your long spot today here at the QQQ, right? This is your long spot Qs today. We hold there, long spot. Likewise, long spot is here as well, right? I don't want to change that, but it's never in any scenario is it going to be let's long this because I think it's going to break the 614 because wow, it looks so strong. And then this happens, you get slapped in the face, right? So don't let that happen today. It's got to be above 614. And this could be your benchmark for the market today, right? If you want to trade SPY, you're trading all other names, right? Look at Qs today. Take a gander at Qs. See if you're about a long the SPY and you see QQ doing this today, right in the supply, well, then maybe don't long the SPY, right? Use this as a proxy today. I think this is a very important level, okay? So let's jump out of this chart now. Let's go back and do some individual equities this morning. Let's start off with, I know we already got over a few, but let's go over Tesla. So Tesla's chart. On the Tesla chart, Tesla's reclaimed it as bullish. I think this is probably, I know this is not a strong chart. I know we are looking at this chart like it's not a strong chart because it's not a strong chart. But it is reclaiming a very important level here in the pre-market session. And I think we should all be aware of this reclaim, okay? Above 415 is a major channel low hold. Now, I know the price action hasn't been so good. It's been very slow, lackluster price action. And I have no intention of trading Tesla today. But, I mean, you can see how this reclaim in the market, how important it is, right? You can see 4 and 5s, 4 and 5s, 4 and 5s, 4 and 5s, 4 and 5s. Every time you reclaim 4 and 5 or hold 4 and 5, you've seen at least a $20, $30 upside move back into what? 444s, 445s, 450s, 470s, right? So here in the market, this little reclaim over here doesn't look so fun right now. It doesn't look very fun, but it is the start of something. And I think if you are getting involved in Tesla, it's got to be, as long as you're above 4 and 5, you understand the market's here bullish, right? So I think that if you are a Tesla trader, this is kind of should be something you're watching. Probably one of your top watches today is if Tesla holds 4 and 5, look for the rally back in highs, right? Look for a move into 440s plus. So again, I know this is contingent on Qs being strong. This is contingent on the SPY holding. But if you are trading here on Tesla, you must understand that this is going to be this is an important reclaim. It's not a strong stock per se. It's not a strong stock compared to the market, but it is reclaiming a very key level, which can make this a strong chart, right? So contextually strong or contextually good, but not price action strong yet. Let's see what happens here. If we fail back below 4 and 5, we are beached whales and we're going back down lower, okay? So that's what we do here. This is a beached whale under 4 and 5. Don't long it under 4 and 5. It's only got to be above 4 and 5, okay? That's your very key inflection point. Let's move on, guys. Let's go over NVIDIA. So NVIDIA is relatively weak against the market, but NVIDIA is bouncing back this morning. And this is the thing. I said watch Apple as a proxy for the market, but you can also watch NVIDIA as a proxy for the market. NVIDIA is bouncing back. And NVIDIA, don't let the news... So everyone's saying this right now. I don't know if you guys are seeing this in the news, but you guys are probably seeing it a little bit. Oh my God, NVIDIA is losing the AI war, right? All these headlines about NVIDIA losing the AI war. You guys probably see it. I'm sure you guys see it as well. Don't let that change your thesis here long-term NVIDIA. they are creating dips in the market. I promise you it's what's happening. I shouldn't say that. I would argue that's what's happening here. Nvidia is a dip to buy. Okay, Nvidia is a dip to buy. Once Nvidia does this is what's going to happen, right? Once Nvidia does this, once Nvidia maybe goes back into the maybe 170s, 160s, right, and starts to, everyone says don't buy it. Oh my God, the stock sucks, right? It's losing the AI war, and it goes back in here again. Then they're going to say buy it again. They're going to say buy it over here, and then it goes back down lower, right? So that's how the market works. That's how the media works. So don't let again, a lot of the media is just driven off of headlines, right? So if headlines and price action. So if they see stock goes lower, they have like a quick little AI write up of like, you know, downside bearish, right? And if the stock goes higher, bullish, right? So they're just reacting off of price action here. Those news just react off of price action. So at this point, I think that Nvidia is bouncing back for a good reason. Does it go back to all-time highs? I don't know if it does, but eventually it will. And it will go back to all-time highs. I just don't know when it's going to happen. I do want a dip here. I'm watching the lower 160s for dips. So my first buy here on Nvidia is going to be the lower 160s. This is a buy, and I'll buy this. And I always will buy this, and I always will own Nvidia. Don't let anybody scare you. At least from my opinion, my 2 cents is buy, right? 160s, I'm buying. Buy at the right point. Don't buy it over here, right? Buy it over here, right? Buy it on these dips. And yesterday's session, right? This sell-off yesterday, you probably could have bought some, right? I didn't do it, but you probably could have. And I think it's not a bad idea to have an average around the 160s here on Nvidia. Okay, that's the Nvidia's chart. Let's see what happens here today. Obviously in the intraday, right? If we're above 180, we're bullish. Below 180, bearish. That's your very clear inflection point. 180 is your bull bear pivot. Let's move on. Let's go to AMD. AMD is also a little weak, but is bouncing back here this morning in the pre-market session. Look, you have something interesting happening here. You have the relatively weak names in the market are turning strong. The relatively weak names in the market from yesterday's session are turning strong. That's a very important statement to understand this morning, okay? So what was weak yesterday is strong today. And how is that going to impact the indices, okay? What was weak yesterday appears to be strong this morning, okay? AMD sold off under 200, broke down under key levels. Even Nvidia, if you guys recall, I said watch the 173 break and retest short. I said watch this as a short yesterday under 173, and it did it, right? Look at the 173 short. You can see how beautiful it was. Break, retest, downside move under 173. Right? This was actually a beautiful break and retest, but it reclaimed and held 173. And now this morning it's above 180, right? Huge upside move here. This is an incredible bounce back on Nvidia here this morning. 7% bounce back here. This is a relatively weak name turning strong. Let's not short this today. In fact, this could squeeze, right? So let's see what happens here in Nvidia. Nvidia, AMD, both strong, impacting the SMH. The SMH probably moving up really higher this morning because the SMH is bouncing back, right? So let's be understanding of this. Don't short Nvidia or AMD as long as they're above those levels, 180 and 205. I think the level is on AMD. 208 here on AMD is your level. So if we're above 208, we're bullish. Below 208, we're going back into lows. And I would even argue it's not just 208, it's 208 all the way down to 206. Yeah, highs of yesterday's session, right? So this is my watch today, is if you are looking for longs today in AMD. This is not a top watch for me, right? But if you are looking for longs, it's got to be there, upside move, right? But I'm not watching this, but just showing you the level, okay? That's your bullish move here on AMD. Let's move on. Let's go over a few other names. Let's go over a few other things happening in today's session. So what I want to do is I want to go over Meta. So Meta's chart held at 618 yesterday and ripped up half 618. Now we're back at 636. This is a really important level here. I know it may not seem like a really important level, but this is a really important level. And the reason why is because this is the moment where Meta, I almost said Tesla, Meta is bullish or bearish. It's the daily 21 SMA, one of the most basic pivots in the market, right? The most basic pivot that everyone has in their chart, almost everyone has in their chart, almost always, is a daily 21 SMA. You go across the market, look at SPY. SPY is also at the same level, right? SPY is above the level, right? You can see SPY's at the level, Qs are right at the level here, 614. By the way, huge pivot here, huge level this morning. But here on Nvidia, no, sorry, what was I on? Meta? Meta, we are right back at the 636 daily 21 SMA. So I know I haven't been talking about Meta for a while, but this is where I become interested here. It's either going to do this, they're going to fail here and go back down to lows, or it's going to reclaim and go back to highs. So Meta is at a very important inflection point. I would not trade it until we have clarity. If you have clarity here in the intraday, trade it, but wait until you do have that clarity, because we are at the major moment that Meta is either going to give you the reclaim above the daily 21 SMA, or it's going to fail back down lower and see new lows. So again, daily 21 SMA, major inflection point here on Meta. Okay, let's go over Google, and we're going to finish off with Google and Palantir. Right, let's do those last two tickers. We'll be done. Okay, Google. Google, strongest stock in the market, flipping weak, right? So what an interesting open this morning. Weakest stocks in the market flipping strong, and strongest stock in the market flipping weak. So it's going to be an interesting session today, and so be aware of that. So obviously Google failing here under a level this morning, and if we break down under 318, which is the PDL, which is the previous day low here, 318, we're going to go lower into 306. So today's session, if we break down under the green box today, right, the bottom of the green box, which is 318, right? If we break 318, we're going down lower into 306. So that's your level today. The major inflection point in the market is 318. Below it, bearish. Above it, bullish. Let's not misconstrue this yet. We still haven't broken down under 318. But if you do clear 318, we're going to go where? 306. That's what it is today's session. Last ticker, guys. PLTR. Okay. What's Palantir doing? Palantir is holding the 150s. It's turning 158 into support. I think it probably moves to 170. The question is, what does it do at 170, right? I don't really have anything to say here in Palantir. Sometimes I have some stuff to say here, but Palantir is just between a big level and a big level, right? 170 is your next big level. If you're long since 158 or 150, you're probably profit taking in 170, okay? 170 is your new level, right? And if you reclaim it, then it goes back in highs. But as of right now, 170 is a profit taking spot because it's technically bearish as long as we're under 170. So that's what it is today. If we're under 170, bearish. If we reclaim 170, bullish. Guys, thank you all for joining in. You guys have a beautiful day today. Enjoy your Wednesday session. Enjoy the time tomorrow with your family if you have the luxury of doing so, right? Spend your time with your family, and I'll see you guys all on trading, or if not, I'll see you on Friday for our pre-market. Guys, enjoy your sessions. I'll see you all later. Bye, guys.